So I'm going to pose a question as we conclude here. And it comes in the form of a metric. Let's say we were given another year and we entered it in a strong financial position. Again, God's people have been wonderfully responding. I'm sure they would even more. What would you expect me or headquarters to do in light of what we just read? Zero truth on the earth. Got it? You cannot subvert prophecy. So what would you expect me to do? Here are the choices. I'll tell you, one choice, go as hard, fast, as far as you could in a year and try to flood the world. And we're in a position where we can make a lot of noise. We could rattle some teacups in China. But there's a giant problem with that. You're directly fighting prophecy, and you're subverting it. Christ comes a thief. All those verses make perfect sense. We'd be spending a year. This becomes a metric to me. Now that I know the plan of God, literally doing everything in our power to undermine, to subvert the Word of God. The alternative is sit idle. I'd be down in that little building down there every time I could. And every time I do it, would I be just flat out disobeying God? Now that I know exactly what he's going to do? The alternative is sit idle and tell everybody we're going to do this for a year. What if it was 2 or 3 years? Because the same problem would present itself. An impossible predicament. What would you tell me to do? We've got to take the gospel to the world. I told you where that verse fits. Well, we've been doing it, Mr. Pack. Well, we've been talking about the millennium. That's fine. But I would literally have to say, don't anybody say anything about the 7-year kingdom. That is taboo. That's verboten. Don't talk about it. We're the only ones allowed to know it. An impossible predicament. I mean, impossible. So let's ask. I said this is a metric. Would God put us in that position? Try to subvert prophecy or sit idle? Oh. I think you know the answer. He just wouldn't do it. We've got all the metrics that say it's this year. But I'll bet you never thought of it quite like that. Because it would be on me to decide to sit idle and disobey God, or blast this kingdom against prophecy and disobey God. And if you do so well, we'll do sort of go down the middle. Oh, we disobeyed him in both ways. What your hand finds to do it with your might. Idle hands, Ben Franklin's right, the devil's workshop. What would we do? Sit around and have parties for a year? And I just want to say again, we're in a strong position. I didn't think we'd ever be this strong. I prayed that we would be. The campus is done. We have a terrific staff, solid ministers. Couldn't be in a better position with the bank. We used to have 10 different debts. We got one now. Within a few weeks, we'll have one, and that one's way ahead of schedule. So God starts nothing until he's ready to start everything. Surely come, won't tarry, said it all. You didn't see anything happen. Finish the series, then just wait in faith. Knowing a few seeming certainties about which year, and I just gave you one more. And we're going to have to talk about prophesy again. Because you now know it's impossible that he did it to the world. So somewhere along the line, what's been taking place, whether I like it or not, whether I understood it or not, somewhere along the line before you get to Passover, there was prophesying. So then the question becomes, can you prophesy wrongly? Ooh, where's that on the list of metrics? I always thought, well, maybe he's got to stand up because I'm just teaching. I am teaching. But we'll have to learn more about that, and we will tomorrow.